Okay, here we go. This is the penultimate part of the Sonic Unleashed playthrough. Normally I don't open parts like that, but we are at the penultimate part now, so we are nearly done. Pretty much our task for today is to finish off the rest of the extra acts that you can do for all of the levels. And first on that list is Arid-san's Day Act 2. There's only actually one extra mission in Shamar, so which is a bit weird. You would have thought that they would have offered a bit more, considering other levels have 2 day stages and 1 night stage. And Arid-san's literally only has 1 extra day stage. Same goes for Empire City as well, but Empire City isn't as important, so it's a bit like, really? You really wanted to do that? Could you not think of anything else to do? But they clearly did think of other stuff to do, because they managed to do the DLC levels. So they had enough kind of ability to do stuff. And so the fact that Unleashed did get DLC kind of makes me slightly disappointed that Generations didn't. Because it's like, Sonic Generations is probably the most DLC abusable game in the entire franchise. Because I can tell you now that a lot of Sonic fans would have paid a great deal of money to get kind of new levels into the game. So people would have paid for, say, Ice Cap Zone or other stuff. I mean, I would have quite liked to see Starlight Carnival or something. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think I would have been quite excited with kind of any sort of new level, because it would have just been awesome to see even more kind of stages brought into the whole old new style, which would have been awesome, but they didn't do it, which is a bit of a wasted opportunity if you ask me. But then again, I guess you could say that it takes a lot of effort to build those stages, so doing the DLC might not have necessarily been worth it. But yes, here we go on Arid-san's Day Act 2. Essentially, it's a lot of quick-time events, one after the other, with 0 exploration. It's just a murder spree. I mean, you do have the medals hidden in boxes that you have to slow down for to get, but really, the only way that you are going to get a really, really good rank on this mission is to not get hit and just get everything perfect, if I recall correctly. Unfortunately, I am not that good at this game, and I have a slightly boost happy finger, so things like that happen. I'm just that amazing. So that didn't go too phenomenally, but we're still in A rank, so I'm still happy with that. I'm assuming we're probably about 5,000 short of the S rank. Because I think generally about 10,000 between the A and the S, so yeah, so that's Shamar done and dusted. I mean, we will be returning here, because essentially what the final part is going to be is it's going to be looking at all the stuff in Professor Pickle's library. And there was absolutely... oh no, there was a reason for coming up here. Got myself a little bit confused. So yeah, I'll be coming back and having a look in the Pickles library. There's all the stuff that we have unlocked. It's not everything. I wish it could be everything, but you have to collect all the art books, all the VHS tapes, all the LP, CD thingies, and speak to everyone and do everything to be able to get everything in there. And I've not got that amount of patience. I love Unleashed, but I wanted to get recording done with. So it just wasn't happening. Now, the method that you are supposed to take to get up to Empire City X2 is go up here and then air boost your way over, but essentially I have just screwed myself over because I now don't have any rings with which to get up there. However, I do believe that you can actually, there is actually a path. Yes, here we go. If you wall jump, oh, never mind. I thought I'd be able to get up and over. Damn it. Oh well, I mean, got some tea there that you can get if you do your wall jump there. It works. And actually, I do think we can make it. You've just got to time it very... Yeah, there we go. You've just got to time it very well. So, let's go on to Skyscraper Scamper Day Act 2. It's really short. Much like Aritan's Day 2. Doesn't mean I am going to do this perfectly. Not in the slightest. Because you've got these very narrow platforms, which is not great for Sonic. He's a bit slippery, as I've said many times before. So, death can quite easily occur on these very, very narrow platforms. Which is why the stages are generally kind of so wide open throughout the rest of the game. It's to allow you to have room to maneuver. Now, technically you're supposed to boost through all of that. No. As I've said before, slow and steady wins the race. And that is the methodology that I go for. Because I want to beat the level, not perfect it. Although, perfecting it is awesome because it makes you look like a complete and utter badass, but I can never look as badass as what the some of the amazing people who've done speedruns of this game can do. I mean, it's just outstanding what they are capable of. It's really stunning. The shortcuts people have found are... I'm literally just in shock at how amazing they are. So, that's Shamar done. That's Empire City done. So, all that's left is Adabat, which has a reasonably long night act and a decent length day act and another day act. So, there's a lot to do in Adabat. Absolutely loads. And I have to say, I think I do prefer this night act to Chun-Nan's extra one, in that it's less cheap. You don't have the whole tightrope issue. It's not to say that it's not reasonably difficult, but it's certainly nicer to deal with. And I need a block, don't I? That's irritating. Although, thankfully, there's some just there for me to utilise. At least they were nice with that. And yeah, I've basically been a bit of a twonk. Although not completely, because the night act that we need to go to is all the way over there on the island. That if we want to, you probably will die at some point trying to reach it. Now, it's round about the same length as the actual Adabat night stage, which is a bit ridiculous, really. Well, I certainly wouldn't expect the extra level to be the same length as the final, one of the final night stages of the game. It doesn't. So something about that seems odd to me. Although it is challenging because lots of water and enemies falling into the water and... or at least enemies being above the water. There's lots of chance to die here. And there's lots of enemies. Including those damn monstrosities, the Fire Masters. I will throw water in your face and you will like it. Somehow. Yes, this will happen. I mean, thankfully, in general, these battles aren't too ridiculously difficult. But obviously, Fire Masters are irritating. Potentially irritating beyond all belief, but the arena's big enough for you to be able to deal with these things. Well, it's not as fun having just bat snipers in the arena, because they don't really do much. But yeah, essentially this mission is just lots and lots of fighting. I think essentially there's just 3 gauntlet areas in which you have to fight. Which, I guess, is a reasonable end to the Werehog. It's essentially most of what he's been doing all game, so it's not too out of the ordinary. And you do have most of the difficult enemies from the game. Although, I can't remember whether you have to face a Titan or not. Probably. We will see when we get towards the end. Because if a Titan's going to show up, it's going to be at the end of the mission. It's just the way it goes. Now, I'm not actually sure what's up the cliff over there. I can't quite remember how to access it, but it's not paramount to your completing of the mission. However, going this way is. Because essentially what you need to do is you need to push all of the buttons like you did in the original Jungle Joyride night. Except, yeah, this time you've got lots of fighting to do in the meantime, rather than just having to murder a single Titan and then get on with it. Quite glad that we're not facing off against multiple red killer bees at once, because otherwise that would be pretty horrific. Now, we'll point, just make if you did press the first of the buttons, don't accidentally press the wrong button, which is over on the right of the arena, because otherwise you will have to go back and get the first one, obviously, because it resets after you've messed up. Now, Ted, I apologise if these extra parts have been a little less interesting than the actual playthrough itself. But it's pretty much I've run out of useful trivia to spout on you, so it's kind of just like I've run out of juice almost. Still not quite. There's still some hopefully ingenious comments to come, because that's how I work. But yeah, I guess it's something that happens with commentaries, that you tend to use up a lot of stuff and then you kind of get fatigued afterwards, and you reach the point where there's not really anything particularly new or hugely interesting happening. But you've used up all your good material. I'm gonna try and not have that issue in some other playthroughs and walkthroughs that I'm going to be doing, but it's just something that happens. You get used to it. I'm still quite impressed that I made it through the entirety of Tales of Symphonia. I mean, I love that game, and I will always love that game, and I'm so glad that I did a commentary of it. But it's very long. So you reach the point where it's just like, stuff. Either way, here we go. This is the last of our gauntlets. Essentially, it is the most difficult one, because you've got the Dark Masters and the Cure Masters and the Red Killer Bees and the Nightmares and all sorts, just kind of everywhere. Obviously, you're going to want to try and murder the Red Killer Bees as soon as possible, because they are out for your blood, and no amount of murder is going to prevent that. I think probably the overuse of the fighting mechanic is the main reason I dislike the Werehog. Because, I mean, at this point, I mean, in this level in particular, we've fought so many enemies in such a short space of time, it's kind of a bit tired of this now. Would like to be doing something else, please. Thank you, Sonic Team. And it is that overly battle heaviness that does just kind of slow down the Werehog's gameplay pace a bit too much. So, I mean, the exploration is really fun, And although the combat is fun as well, having too much of it at once is a bit kind of tiring. I mean, it's not like this game is a full-on hack and slash where the main aim of the game is combat, in which case the combat is generally fun and intriguing, so you end up having fun whilst battling off hordes of enemies, because that's the entire point. Whereas here, the enemies are never quite interesting enough, and it doesn't kind of flow as awesomely as it probably should do. Anyway, I think we've nearly murdered everything now. Yep. So I just want to collect that CD that is right in our view. I don't want to miss it, seeing as it is so clearly there. Even though the gold ring is literally just through that door. I mean, why would I do that? It's just the slight bit of a completionist in me that is just like, I want to collect that. Will really want to collect that. But there we go. That is the last we will almost ever see of the werehog, because it's the last werehog level you will ever see from me. Because obviously he doesn't appear in any other Sonic games, because they've pretty much canned him now. I mean, there was a point where the director did want to do a Sonic Unleashed 2, and I think that there were rumours that it could happen. But I think, much to the joy of a lot of the fan base, it didn't happen, because most of the fan base do hate the werehog quite a lot. Well, I think what I want for the Sonic franchise is to do what they like with the gameplay. They can change it reasonably and kind of edit it and make it better. But I want them to return to this type of story, in having the comedy and the serious kind of combined into a singular experience. It just works better, in my opinion. Makes you more involved in the story, because it's more interesting. Because, I mean, as fun and simple, as fun as Sonic Colors was, it was overly simple. And there wasn't really a whole lot of story to it. And the same almost goes for Sonic Generations, although that one story was less fun than Colors. So striking that balance just works better. But either way, we have Act 3 and Act 2. For some bizarre reason, Act 2 requires more Sun Medals than Act 3, but there we go. I guess it's because they're counting down, because Act 1 required so many. Now, this is essentially another lap-based level. And as with the Chun-Nan level, there is no checkpoints throughout it, so you have to complete it in one fell swoop. Which is easier said than done, because you don't really get a lot of boost throughout the level, because there aren't a huge number of rings, so don't waste it like I do. I really do just waste the boost when I really shouldn't be doing so. I mean, it's a really fun level, and it does challenge you, definitely. But yeah, I really need to get better at using the boost if I ever want to get better at the game, which is probably not going to happen because I don't think you well, I say I don't think you get any achievements for getting S ranks in all of the stages. I mean, you probably don't, but that makes me seem a bit more of a achievement hunter than I actually am, because I really don't care about achievements. I just kind of generally classify them as my 100% guideline, essentially. Because the only PS3 360 game that I have ever kind of 100% completed according to my achievements is Final Fantasy 13-2. I don't think that there are any others that I can technically claim I have 100%ed, because I haven't got all the achievements, but some of the achievements are stupid in certain games. I mean, particularly the ones with multiplayer. With the multiplayer achievements, which are really not helpful when you don't play multiplayer. Which is just really irritating. Now I have to say, this is actually a really bad run of this level. Although, I think you'll be surprised by the results. Because I know I was.
Piece of cake.
I mean, just how? How was that an S rank? Oh, I know. Don't question it. Just take it and run. Run like the wind. Because you're the night of the wind. The night of the wind. Ba 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 da. Yeah, just getting a bit of Sonic and the Black Knight there. Another game that the fanbase seems to really dislike. I don't get the hate. Well, I get some of the hate for that game, but I don't feel that hate. And here we go. This is the final optional mission for the game. It's essentially a quick step challenge, although you can cheese it quite easily, thanks to Sonic's ability to run on the water. Makes things a lot easier to complete. Also makes me seem really, really lazy. But there we go. I mean, what really sucks about this level is that it is so short. I mean, look, here we are. This is the end of the level already. Barely even a minute.
No problem.
Some of the extra levels are just far too short. They really are. But that is that. That is all of the extra mission, well, all of the extra acts that you can do in the game. There are loads of kind of extra side missions that you can do, but I'm not going to go anywhere near them. It's just not happening. So, I hope you all join me in the next part for the finale of Sonic Unleashed, where we will finale of the extras of Sonic Unleashed, where we'll just be going through the last few little bits that I have to talk about. So, I'll see you then.